This is your daily market review for Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. Interesting day. Bulls were getting rather arrogant about what to expect going forward. Inflation, CPI, yada, 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 Fed minutes. Let's get into it, because I think a lot of people, again, have in their head, and if you haven't been paying attention to the channel and updating constantly, the data, the economy, everything is weakening. It's actually happening faster than you expect. If you go look at trucking rates, you go look at the credit sector or credit markets, you look at what's going on with banks, lending, everything. But the problem is inflation is anchoring as well. And so maybe oil prices that have come down that are now rising, certain commodity prices, there's certain other parts of the economy that rather scary. And I'm not surprised by the action of a pop and then flop. People have in their minds that there's higher cash amounts out there. Well, people don't realize you can get 5% now safely in CDs. There's alternatives to the market, and people are taking less and less risk because, again, they see what's going on. Smart people, at least. Now, the people in the market who are relentlessly bullish, again, it's a trader's market. It's a bear market. I've said this over and over. A bear market will end when the VIX spikes at least to 48 plus. We've not gotten there yet, and it just takes time. It just takes time. It was just a matter of if, when, not if, the markets will correct and do what they need to do to price in the worst case scenario so that they can rebuild and then go up. Remember, the bottom of a bear market is not a cheerleading session. It is a literal peril, pain, and frustration moment where the market in itself, people don't want to invest anymore. If you felt that pain in a particular stock or certain sectors, you are aware of what I'm talking about. If you're not, and you're newer to trading, understand the psychology, please use the link in the description below, get involved in the Discord room, follow us on Twitter, posting things that we think are important. Here you go, Trucking Bloodbath. Please follow, hit the subscribe button. Did a live review today, probably worth checking out. But here are all the videos, and again, it's updated on my website, thetradingagent.com, daily market reviews. Also, too, people asking about how to get a return on their income. Use this link to get 4.75% on a high-yield savings account with Goldman Sachs. I love it. The app is slick. Again, I don't use it to write checks or ATM. Just a place to hold my cash while I determine what I'm going to do with it. Buying real estate, buying precious metals, investing in general. Hit me up if you have any questions. Again, link in the description below for everything. Let's get into it. The CPI today came in. People said cold, even, hot, whatever. I look at it like it's still 5% or plus. Still way too high. The Fed expectation funds futures probabilities, still expecting a rate hike. We're right at the cusp of whether they would or not. We'll see what happens with the market. I'm telling you, I've said this and I say this rant every time. If the Feds are smart, they get money to go what? From the markets into the dollar and into treasuries to fund the next stimuluses, to fund the government, to try to get interest rates down. Because again, the Fed fund futures rate, they can be raising rates, but treasuries get bought if people anticipate a slowdown and want to put their money in somewhere defensive. The Feds are smart. There's trillions of dollars of liquidity out there that could buy their bonds. And if they're stupid, they're going to do the wrong thing. Again, Feds have never navigated a soft landing. I hate repeating this stuff, but it's so blatantly obvious. People get way too bullish at the highs, and then, like in October, when we told people to start buying stocks again for swing trading and trading, too bearish. So, Bitcoin, we're at really important levels. Talked about this in the daily review. Talked about this last couple days. Watch up here. This area matters. The range matters. Keep an eye on it. Oil. Again, the Feds got to hate to see this. And again, it's funny that we started redeploying SPR and we need to refill it. Bad, but we're in resistance. Again, this is the thing. Oil could come down if what? The economy slows, the market tanks. That would be their ideal situation. Right? That again, get oil down, they can refill SPR. They're going to need some risk averseness versus people just plowing into the market and thinking stupidly that everything is fine and that the worst is behind us. Natural gas, every day. Hey, Dan, what do you think? Should I buy this? Should I buy it? Do you think it's a good level? Again, you can camp out here if you want. I don't see much downside, but I also see not much upside. I think the easy trade is to obviously short tech. If you haven't been following, I like tech shorts. I think it's the easiest, most lucrative trade. And then when that trade is over, it will be to buy commodities. In natural gas, it will be one of them. The dollar, retesting. This is an important area. Watch this mid 27s. If you check it on the weekly, monthly, it looks important. Just trying to move fast. TLT, interesting action here. Chopping around the 200-day, 20-day, right? Long wick. Again, TLT should go higher if the market tanks, right? Like that would be the goal of the Feds. Get money plowing into treasuries, right? That's their goal. Dollar, we talked about. VIX, wakey. Again, that's such a gift down here in the 18, 19 range. Look at the wick today. At some point, we'll wake up. SPY, head and shoulders top on the daily. Outside, reversal candle, looking much like it, like another M within the M's, within the chop tops. Be on red alert. Look at the volume increasing. That doesn't look bullish. QQQ. Talked about this being a blowout top. Check on the monthly. You're hitting 20-month. That's curling down. We talked about this potentially being the top candle. Look at this. Closed at the lows. Take out the 20-day. Arrivederci. Adios. IWM. Again, lagging. IWM should not be lagging. IWM should lead if the market's going higher. It's, again, QQQ, SPY, way up in here. We're down here. Look at this candle. Gaps up. Closes at the lows. Outside reversal candle. Not bullish. DIA. Talked about this. Another one that's lagging. Watch what happens. Oh man, I don't know why I didn't save it. Watch what happens when it gets up into here in this 338 plus. Well, now what? You're there. Keep an eye on it. Again, overall, I personally think, and I've said this over and over, it's a matter of when, not if, the market finds the weakness that we're expecting. And again, it's going to be a big drawdown. Again, the bigger the chop and trap, the bigger the move. Keep in mind, the market's been, in a trading range since literally November, October. When it's done, it's going to be a big move down. Gold. Keeping an eye on this one because, again, another hammer at the highs. Will they throw the baby out with the bathwater? I get a lot of resentment from people because, again, as somebody who loves gold, talked about it literally buying down here, talked about it selling right here, traded it for 20 years. I don't like when everyone's bullish gold in these times in the cycle because the Feds have to raise rates to kind of kill everything off. And whether they do or not, it doesn't really matter. The best time to buy is going to be what? When the Feds pivot. Now, will we be back at the lows? I have no guarantee. But I could be wrong. But again, I don't mind chasing later gold. Because if gold's going to 5, 10, 15,000, like people are highly predicting, it's not going to go there in a straight line. There's obviously so many trades out there that are going to be better. All right, silver getting back up against the range highs. This candle's a little ominous, a little hanging man. We'll see. GDX, miners, again, if the market pulls back, the miners are not guaranteed to go higher. Study the past. I hate doing it every video. Hey, I'm happy for the people who are bullish it and got long it, but I'm telling you, I think it's worth probably, booking some profits. Today's move on the GDXJ. I do not like that candle. Especially if the dollar's bottoming, could run into problems. AG, love that they reduced their production. Talked about it, but he novice gap trap and rally. Boom, rally up. Trend line. How much higher? Again, long term, I don't doubt these things will be higher. I just don't know if it's going to get to the higher prices without significant pullbacks first. You manage your risk. Layer in, layer out. All or nothing trading is gambling. AEM coming back into the range highs. Hodor, keep an eye on it. Worth watching. We'll see what happens. Newmont been lagging the last couple days. We've talked about this. Again, as somebody who is anti-Newmont, anti-mega cap gold stocks, because they're gonna have to use their cash, dilute their balance sheet to buy companies. Making a lower high fills the gap. That doesn't really look that good. Agreed? Pass. Coming up into the chop zone. Watch this. Zoom out. When in doubt. When in doubt. Broke the downtrend, but keep an eye on it, right? Tech. Oh, good God. It's starting to look a little scary out there. AMD. First dip gets bought. Head and shoulders top. Below the 20-day. First day. We're what? We close pretty much at the low of the days below here. Because every time we'd kind of rally back. Interesting. Keep an eye on it. Good old Micron. Man, we talked wide and loose. Wide and loose. Wide and loose in a choppy zone. Accumulative or distributive? Feels distributive to me. Because look at the action. Open high, close low, left right combo. With cheese. Does not look good, y'all. Taiwan semi, our favorite semi short. Look at that. Take out the 100-day. Adios. NVIDIA. Well, again, actually, NVIDIA is my longer-term favorite short because you just have so much price potential and drop here. We talked about it bouncing. Oversold. Coming up. Now the 20-day. Watch it. Again, tops occur when everybody is all in bullish and everyone loves it. If you don't think that's the case in NVIDIA, then you haven't been paying attention to what's going on social media. Everybody loves it, and look what it's now doing. It looks very distributive in chopping. Very distributive in chopping. Intel usually didn't really bring this up until recently. It hit its monthly trend line. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O takes out the lows. Watch out. SMH. Again, love semi-shorts. If you don't understand why, watch previous videos. Hit me up. Breaking the 20-day. Watching this old trend line. Breaks the 50-day. Let's just say 50-day. Look out below. Adobe. Tech. Just double topping. 20-day. Another example. Apple. Lagging. The last couple days when the market was trying to rally up, Apple is just like, do. Watch the 20-day. Very clear. Breaks it. Look out below. Amazon. We talked about couldn't get out of this range. Look at this. Breaking 20-day, 50-day. Doesn't look bullish. CRN. We talked about the 200-day being in, or 200 price zone on the monthly. It's a 200 month moving at week, 200-week moving average and some resistance. Watch it. It's under the 20-day. Looks a little trappish. Guggenheim. AIAIO pain. Again, everybody's going to get free AI. It's going to be involved in every app. It's just the hype building around it. People thinking that it's somehow going to be game changing and push the market higher. Like every other fad, whether it was 3D printer stocks to Bitcoin mining stocks to AI, others, all sorts of crap out there. Again, pricing in the best circumstance. Again, I think Google over time has problems. Meta, same kind of thing. And it's not that the businesses won't be around. It's just the valuations and what people are willing to pay for negative growth, not accelerating growth. Don't lie to yourself. Meta is a decelerating company. Instagram is decelerating quickly. Watch what happens up here. Doesn't look bearish, but it's feeling very distributive. Microsoft hits the upper range bound. Watch 281. Breaks. Goodbye. NDAQ we've talked about. This is another culmination of what I think is long-term pain. The NASDAQ index itself knows that volumes will be dying. People will not be trading the NASDAQ as frequently in the future. Hence, the price action looks like crap. MicroStrategy, watching Bitcoin. Obviously, if Bitcoin can't break over 30,000, getting up into this upper bound, up here in the 320 plus, watch out. It could fail. Absolutely could fail. Netflix warned you guys. Hopefully, some people took the short. Hit the box, backside the trend line. Ooh, looking juicy. Roblox, as we talked about, cannot get over this upper mid 40s. Keep an eye on it. Could flop like a fish. Tesla. As we've talked about, dogging it for a while. Literally dogging it. Here you go. Here's that extra short. Here's the game over candle. Pointed that out months ago. Tries to rally. Lower highs. Lower lows to come. That's what it feels like. Materials, as we've talked about. They should be leading higher if the market's going higher, in my opinion. They chopped off lows after getting pretty hit hard. Now they chop. Looks like they're about to roll over a little doggy. Nucor, they all very similar. At the highs, fail. Market makes new highs. Divergence in leadership changes. Caterpillar, same thing. Peaks, dying, rolling over. Roll over, little doggy. Again, in time. Now, again, these names I like on massive pullbacks. VALE held up pretty well as the dollar got weaker. Gaps up to the 100-day, closed at the low of the day. That doesn't look bullish. Arrow, again, copper. We like copper long-term, but man, it's getting pretty wide and loose up here. CCJ, I know people talked about trading around it. I'm like, it hit resistance to a T. How I would just be extremely patient. At some point, you probably will see it. You'll see the voting age, drinking age, or driver's license age at some point on those names. CF, again, love ag names. Talked about them bouncing. Do I trust them? No, but if you traded him, at least you followed and you said, all right, I get what he's saying here. You're at major support range after dropping. I love these names, again, when they throw the baby out with the bathwater, run through them all mosaic. Looks pretty solid over the 20-day, but I'd be curious to see if it can get over it. Again, you have to pick your poison. There's only so many things. You want to go long certain things, or do you want to short the obvious? That becomes the trade in the pivot mindset you have to decide. Do you want to go long materials that could rise or get slammed, or do you just want to short things that should get slammed? I know that sounds like a simple answer, but that's literally how the brain should be working when you're thinking about this. AA, same thing, just again, at the range lows. These things should not be at the range lows if the market is going to accelerate and the Feds are going to pivot. XLF, we talked about watching the mid-low 32s fills the gap. And again, if I haven't probably shown the monthly in a while, not a while, but keep in mind, like, not surprised it bounced here. We talked about shorting. Congratulations, too. And talked about reloading and waiting, being patient. I think that's the key here. Ten cuidado, be patient. Have patience. JP Morgan, chopping around the 20-day. All these names look like they're just chopping before they get bent over. But keep in mind, you do have earnings on Friday for some of these names. Chopping. Goldman got an upgrade today from UBS, which is ironic. Okay, let's look at that. Somebody was distributing into it. XBI, Wild Warrior, if you're listening, congrats. I mean, he's shorting this on the open. I get it. Again, I think, like, I look at tech. I like tech that's up here versus down here, but this is definitely lagging. Could go lower. But the problem is the law of potential here. It's like, how much lower can these go? That's a good question. I mean, you're talking about levels from, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're below like the 2015 like biotech blow off. It's interesting. We'll see. I mean, but that's the thing. Baby bios, what do they love? Cheap, low interest rates, and easy money. They're not getting it. That's for dang sure. All right, solar, and then we'll end it. Run through this. Chopping. Talked about. I mean, again, anyone who believes that solar is going higher if there's a market peels back. ENPH chopping at the range lows. Dead money. Looks like it's going to flop. Sedge, I think it was Hamilton. Hopefully she talked about shorting 295. Liked it. Closed low. For solar, frustrating. I get it. Chopping around. But we talked about it holding this like trend, range top, whatever. Now over the 20-day. That's the top? I mean, is this a lower high? I'd be watching the out of it. HYG, talked about that today. Another lower high. Outside open, closed low, but it's not really terrible. It's a flat. And we'll end it with oil. The frustrating part for what? The good old Fed Reserve. I mean, they cannot like this at all. I mean, they cannot. It's like seeing oil go higher. Again, personally, I mean, I think it just helps build the story later for the higher rates and market smash, Hulk smash. UNG, again, asking me about natural gas. I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's the truth. Like, I just don't think natural gas names are worth buying here. I was even watching XOP today. Hopefully, Sam took profits. I'm like, we're up against resistance. 200-day, 100-day cross, old trend line. Could we break out? Sure. But if the market peels back, will it? Probably not. Probably not. So watch this area. Again, manage your positions. Be thoughtful. ExxonMobil, as we talked about, watch up here in the 115 plus to 118. Chopping. This is the old monthly trend line. Not old. It's the monthly trend line that matters, right? Keep an eye on it. Occidental. Buffett's buying as much as he can every day, talking about it. Man, it still cannot get over last week's highs. Worth keeping an eye on for failure. PXD is rumored to be bought out by ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil has a terrible history of buying companies at oil peaks near term. Could that be the case? Maybe they do that because they help manipulate the markets. Who the heck knows? Keep an eye on it. EQT again here. Like, again, natural gas names. Sloppy, choppy. Just think there's better trades out there. And end it with Flex LNG and a little rant. We like this name because at some point we think the United States will be a massive exporter of natural gas. So at this point in the market, what do we know? What do we know? Today's action looks like it's invalidating bullishness. But what I do know is from sentiment, following stock twits, Wall Street bets, just perusing Twitter, people are extremely bullish that we were going to go higher. We reversed on them completely today. Someone distributed at the end of the day yesterday and at the end of the day today. The big money is distributing into the close. Do not ignore it. People are saying, well, look at the Fed. The futures positioning is huge short. Well, they were huge short in August too before the market crashed. Or market crashed, but dropped 10, 15%. Point being is, think about it. If you had to unload stocks and you were unloading stocks, would it be a bad idea to be hedging with shorts? Now people say, well, why don't they just buy puts? And again, who knows? But if I'm a portfolio manager and I'm concerned about holding stocks, and or if I know that people are looking for redemptions, liquidations, they need to get back in, they need to get some cash, I'm hedging the crap out of it. So again, you can argue all of this, but please, like cash levels, again, we're not at the peak. I hate to repeat, we are not at the peak of the market down. If you believe that and you think that's possible, then the evidence and never seeing a soft landing in my lifetime or thinking or knowing it's possible is legitimate out there. You just have to remember, bear markets are traders markets that take time And the last leg down is an absolute beast. And if the feds decide to cut, that's because they, just like oil, you don't cut if demand is good. They're cutting because demand is softening. The economy for oil is slowing. Same thing. If the feds decide they need a cut, an emergency cut, you got problems. And to think that the banking stuff was fixed in a couple of weeks, to think that everything is great going forward, again, the data, the bloodbaths in trucking, that's just that headline that keeps popping. Just keep track. Have notes of everything that's important, because I'm telling you, if you can't remember this stuff in every moment, you're looking at what comments are saying and you're thinking about all these little different things. And you don't have like in your journal what the facts are, what's going on. It's very easy to get distracted. And I see it on the Discord room daily. People are going, well, I mean, they said this and Fedmester said that and blah blah blah. It's like, look at the information. Is the market confirming a breakout? Is it look more like a trap? Yep. The reference levels matter. Yep. All right. Well, be thoughtful. Again, I hope they get this out of the way. And again, rip the Band-Aid off. Get the market out. Like, destroy it. Do what it needs to be done to put in the final bottom. Because if not, I mean, people hate the chop. They hate the ranges. Well, guess what? Welcome to it. And you might still get that even after the bear market bottom, because people won't necessarily believe the market's bottom, right? Remember that? That's going to take weeks, probably months as well. So, here to help. Reach out, www.thetradingagent.com. Anything you might need, reach out whenever in doubt and try to learn. I mean, that's the goal. Always a student of the game. Talk to you later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.